Hello, I'm back. I humbly apologize. What is happening? MAGA is attacking my live. They do it every day, and you would think I'm used to it by now. They attack my live, they report my lives because they want me to stop talking about Donald Trump, but I'm never going to stop talking about Donald Trump. I'm going to continue to talk about the Epstein files because I myself, I am a survivor. Yes, I wrote a book about my life story, The Purple Cinderella. So I'm not going to stop talking about the Epstein files. I'm a survivor of being taken advantage of by men, grown men. My entire childhood, I was taken advantage of by grown men. So I'm never going to stop talking about the Epstein files. They can attack my channel every day of their lives. I'm okay with it. I'll just come back on here and start all over. That's what I do. Hold on, you guys. MAGA ain't going to be able to stop me. They can attack my life and just keep attacking, but they're so foolish because they just have me where I have more views and I have multiple videos that go out on this date. So you're not hurting me. What I'm going to do with this queen that God blessed, I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go back and start right back where I stopped. Okay. So I was about to show you a video and she's stating that there should not be any more excuses. Hit that like button as you coming in, everybody. I love you. It's snowing where you are, Alan. Well, it's cold here. It's not snowing. Thank you, Jesus. One moment, please. She says, no excuses. Take a listen to this. Everything I show is fair use, great for entertainment purposes, great for educational purposes, and great for research. Everybody, what are we doing on my channel? Research. And I always throw a dab of comedy in it. I may show you some comedy as well, okay? I got you. This is Christmas Eve. We're going to enjoy this live. We're not going to let them bring us down. No, you can't steal my joy because I am covered by Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Merry Christmas, y'all.
You're still supporting Trump in December 2025. That's all I need to know about you. It tells me that you're racist. That means that you hate kids eating school lunch. That means that you want billionaires to buy their 20th yacht while the American working class struggles. Tells me you're a piece of shit. If you're still supporting this rapist, 34-time convicted felon, I feel like he could literally come up to your house and be like, you know what? I did do it. I was in the Epstein files. I did do everything that they're accusing me of doing. And I know you're still going to support me. And I know you guys are going to be sitting there like, yeah, yes, we are. That's not king. I'll vote for him again. If you're still supporting Trump in December 2025.
And MAGA just gets so mad when you tell them the truth. They're racist. I'm not a racist. Then what are you? You don't like black people. You don't like brown people. What are you, MAGA? You're racist, baby. Stop lying to yourself. And you slow, beyond slow, okay? You beyond past the short bus, okay? One moment, please. I have something that I want to show you because she made so much sense about what she just stated. And right now, I think it's imperative that I show this. Trump is an idiot. Yes, he is.
Donnie, you're right. No president has ever taken a cognitive test. That's true. Because they didn't need to, you frickin' moron. I don't think we're going to get Barack, anybody questioning his cognitive abilities or intelligence or anything like that, other than you, of course, because you are an idiot. Donnie, you're right. No president has ever taken a cognitive test. That's true. Because they didn't need to, you frickin' moron. I don't think we're going to get Barack, anybody questioning his cognitive abilities or intelligence or anything like that, other than you, of course, because you are an idiot.
Donald Trump is an idiot. And that comes from Patel.
Right.
Hold on.
No president has
Patel
ever taken a cognitive
Monty.
test.
Donnie, your own race is siding against you for Barack Obama. They would choose Barack Obama over you at any time, any day. Thank you for blessing me with the gift, Aeon. Thank you, Aeon Star. I love you. I love you so much. Donnie, that proves you are a failure. If your own race is against you, you are a true failure. Not only are you dumb, not only are you overweight, obese. No, you're obese, Donnie. Because you love to call women fat and the pig, but I'm telling you, you the fat person, you the pig. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. I'm really looking for this particular video because this man says he doesn't care if Donald Trump took advantage of 100 women, he will still vote for him. Yes, please go help me find this video. Bear with me one moment, okay? I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Hold on, I have to and I must find this video. He said from his mouth, he doesn't care if Donald Trump raped hundreds of girls. He would still stand with Donald Trump. The sick mind of MAGA mediocre white man. I hope this is the video. If not, I'm going to find that video. But right now, we're going to see if this is it, okay? I love you guys. And this comes from True Resistance. Hold on.
Trump supporter, yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Can you say what you just said again?
I said, I don't care if there's 100 14-year-old girls that come forward, not only implicate him, but is proven in a court of law. Let him be the president for all of us. Don't we want him to succeed?
Well, except for the 14-year-old girls who were trafficked. You're saying ignore their stories.
There are bigger issues in the world.
Then telling the stories of children who were trafficked and giving them their justice?
Much bigger issues in the world.
You're a Trump supporter, yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Can you say what you just said again?
I said, I don't care if there's 100 14-year-old girls that come forward, not only implicate him, but is proven in a court of law. Let him be the president for all of us. Don't we want him to succeed?
Well, except for the 14-year-old girls who were trafficked. You're saying ignore their stories.
There are bigger issues in the world.
Then telling the stories of children who were trafficked and giving them their justice?
Much bigger issues in the world.
You're a Trump supporter, yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Can you say what you just said again?
I said, I don't care if there's 100 14-year-old girls that come forward, not only implicate him, but is proven in a court of law. Let him be the president for all of us. Don't we want him to succeed?
Well, except for the 14-year-old girls who were trafficked. You're saying ignore their stories.
There are bigger issues in the world.
Then telling the
And
stories.
believe it or not, the MAGA mediocre white men really feel that way. So you're saying you okay with your daughters, teen daughters, being taken advantage of by men, the likes of Donald Trump? That's what he's saying, y'all. What kind of monster is he to make that statement? That's a sick individual. And that tells me he too just may be a pedo. And that comes from True Resistance. That's TREW_resistance. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and his Instagram, okay? Hold on. I love you guys. I love you back. I saw some of you say, you love me in the chat. I love you too. So this is pertaining to Epstein. So we're going to get to some more Epstein stuff right quick, okay? I can't play music. Hold on. Let me start it over because you can't play music. Look carefully. This is a young girl with Epstein. She's now an airplane pilot. So I often wonder, the ones that stuck by through it all, from being a young teen with Epstein, now they are adults. Would this be the likes of Pam Bundy? Could this be the same thing she experienced? I'm not sure, and I'm allegedly. This young girl started with Epstein, a young girl. She's now an airplane pilot. Pam Bundy says she knew Donald Trump from her college days. Is she telling us the truth? Was it before the college days? Inquiring minds want to know. Because now she's the AG over the DOJ of this country, over the FBI. Caroline Levitt, married to an old man older than her father. Probably more than 30 years older than her. How did all this happen? It is okay if you marry an older man, because I like older men myself. But that's just extremely old. Older than her father. He's Viagraing it up like an MF. And there's nothing wrong with taking Viagra. But the point I'm making, Donald Trump took women, put in his cabinet, Where do those women come from? Where do they get their story? Was it a situation like an Epstein situation? Because Donnie and him was down like two flat tires. Best friends. Partners. Yeah. I shall continue. One moment, please. One moment. This comes from Big T Sims. Uh-oh, let me unmute the thing, honey. Mama, sorry. Hold on.
This is the home. Jeffrey Epstein. Make it make sense. Similar spaces to all the buildings we see in New York City. I think it was sold to him by the owner of Victoria's Secret, one of his friends. And the reason I started this channel, that was the final straw. Both sides, I'm not political, didn't release the files. What are they hiding? Why are they lying to us? And what year did they start lying to us? That's what I want. I wanted to make it make sense. It was this. It was the files not being released. Whatever happened to him in prison. Bezos, JFK, the moon landing, 6 feet apart, 9/11, whatever it is, whatever they lie to us about. Stop arguing in the comments. Stop saying I'm dumb. There's a bigger picture. These buildings tell us the truth. They can't lie about the stone and who these people are. You know, but the truth is, this home was Jeffrey Epstein's. Release the files. Both sides. Who cares? Make it make sense.
That is Epstein's apartment in New York. He had several properties. One moment, please. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. When Trump's presidency is over, it should be annulled. No library, no portrait, no titles, no honors. It's a record of shame. Donald Trump's presidency is a stain on America. When Donald Trump's presidency is over, it should be annulled. No library, no portrait, no titles, no honors. It's a record of shame. Remember that. A record of shame, because he's getting out of there. Even if the good Lord take him, he's got to go. Superior to Trump. President Barack Obama is superior to Trump. Always has been and always will. In every form. Educational, his greatness, looks, integrity, everything above. President Barack Obama is superior to Donald Trump. He's high IQ, and who else is low IQ? Donald Trump is low IQ. President Barack Obama never lied about his education. He's a Harvard graduate, while Donald Trump claimed to have graduated at the top of his class, and I showed y'all it was all a lie. Donald Trump is a compulsive liar that run around in a pink tutu with lace panties that are pink, the white little lace on the back that from what we wore with our Easter dress as kids, with a pink tutu dancing around in that ballroom throwing fairy dust. Low IQ. Okay, Trump's FBI at the time he was in office, his first time, should have taken Miss Farmer's case, and we're going to talk about Miss Farmer, one of the survivors, seriously. Remember, Trump was the president with his FBI then. You will hear a lot that was reported by survivors. Trump was in office. Right now, Pam Bundy, Cash Patel are protecting pedos. So we're going to listen to this right here on YouTube from Jack Coachella. Hold on, okay? Just a moment. Thank you for coming to my live, everybody.
Caught on camera. That is exactly what Donald Trump was in another example of the criminal cover-up that we are seeing out of this administration. Donald Trump was caught on camera in a secret Epstein meeting. We are going to get into it all and what it means for the panic that we are seeing out of Donald Trump's White House,
Hit the like button.
Also in civil war at the same time as they are engaging in the worst run and biggest cover-up in presidential history. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, it's not just secret meetings that we see out of Donald Trump's White House. It is very public cover-ups, and those need to be met with public pushback. And that is exactly what Robert Garcia is delivering with the latest call out that he gave to Donald Trump, a bombshell on this White House already in shambles. I want to take a look at it right before we get into the secret meeting caught on camera.
What are you now demanding of the Inspector General? I mean, it's first of all just outrageous that Maria Farmer made these, of course, went to the FBI, went to the authorities, made all these pleas for help, put an actual case in front of the FBI of the abuse of Jeffrey Epstein, really for the first time, and the courage that that took. And the FBI then did nothing. But this, of course, was now in the late 90s. It was 10 years later that the FBI began looking into Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes and all the horrible things he did to so many additional women and girls. Had the FBI acted on Miss Farmer's courage, on her going in and actually sharing her story, we'd be at a different place today with so much trauma inflicted that could have been, of course, we now know, prevented. And so we're demanding that the Inspector General of the DOJ investigate the FBI so that we understand what exactly happened. Every single survivor deserves justice. Miss Farmer deserves justice, and so that's what this accountability and this report is about. And in the past, this Inspector General has refused, by the way, to address requests from survivors. And now we're saying this is a different moment. He needs to answer to Congress, and we're going to hold the Inspector General accountable to this investigation.
What is your assessment of the progress of the release of the Epstein files so far?
I mean, what a complete both disaster. This is a complete bungling of this whole process by the DOJ. And one, it's illegal. It all should have been out already. We were very clear. The law is clear. It should all be on the date that was now been passed multiple days, and it should have been accessible and searchable by the American public. That has not happened. And now what do we get? We're getting an enormous amount of sloppiness. We're getting files that are being overly redacted. We're getting other files where survivors' names are actually mentioned. And yet, who's not being, of course, redacted? We have to look at all the files in front of us and see who is being protected. There's also, in this case, very seriously, as we know, names of co-conspirators that are possibly being protected and hidden by Pam Bondi and by the FBI and the DOJ. That is incredibly concerning. And so we're going to expose survivors.
It is very incredibly concerning. We're going to move it along to get to the good part, okay?
Trump 79 personally leaned on a tiny band of Republican rebels who were backing a discharge petition to force a House vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Not only were Donald Trump's stooges, Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles, Carolyn Levitt, JDVance caught in the ugliest versions of themselves, which are the real versions of themselves, in that Vanity Fair article, that sprawling piece detailing just how much this White House is crumbling right now. But they were also caught and exposed in their blatant cover-up, the pressure campaign that they tried and failed to run. And that has been the story of this cover-up in the White House, trying and failing. Donald Trump thinks that he can distract his way out of this. That has failed. He thought he could pressure Republicans out of this. That has failed. And now he thinks that he can just deny the existence of this story as a whole, and that we'll move on if the DOJ continues to push what they view as some artificial deadline, which is in fact the law they are currently breaking, to release these full files. But it's just not going to work. And that continues to prove out to be the case. And Ari Melber broke down how it is even more so every day in this clip right here.
Files also have a letter that is purported to have been written by Epstein, so it's in these files, to a serial sex abuser, Larry Nassar. I want to tell you tonight, Trump's DOJ says that while the letter was in the files, right, the letters and emails in these files are not obviously automatically true. And we've had more disclosure than usual in this case. And one of the things we've mentioned, our guests have mentioned, is sometimes people think when something is overexposed, that means guilt by association. That's not always the case. Now, some of this was reported by 2023 by the AP, but not in the same detail. This is postmarked 3 days After Epstein's death, August 2019 there, MS Now hasn't confirmed the authenticity. So what I'm telling you is this is in the files. You may hear about it, but that doesn't mean that it's a true thing. Just as we've had past emails from Epstein and others making accusations about Trump. That is not itself criminal evidence of wrongdoing. It tells you about what's in some of these files. It might tell you about threats or blackmail that aren't based on the truth. And I want you to know the statement here, they've confirmed the alleged letter from Epstein to Nassar is, quote, fake, is what DOJ is saying tonight. Again, this is how transparency is supposed to work. Let the people see and add context. Some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against Trump, they go on to say, discussing that as unfounded and false. Now, Trump's DOJ can, of course, add that context. What has been requested and now mandated under law is more information, not less. More documents, not hiding documents. And then you can add context. The DOJ's handling of this release is peculiar. Those files posted yesterday were available for hours. Then they were removed at 8 p.m. Then they were reposted around midnight, which gives you an idea of what it's like to work at Trump's DOJ in this Christmas week. The files also reveal an email from an investigator who said they had a photo of Trump with Maxwell while searching Bannon's phone. Again, that's interesting to say the least.
Thank you for blessing me with the gift.
There was an uproar over the photos removed from the DOJ's website, which were also then restored. If you see from the headlines and the point here, this has been a bungled operation and at times an illegal cover-up. That's just the facts tonight. Now, one of the photos was inside Epstein's home and it had that Trump image as part of a personal collection. You see it there. Of all the things that have come out in this Epstein story, what you see the arrow pointing at is not exactly the worst thing for Donald Trump in terms of public embarrassment, and yet they took it down and then put it back up. Survivors have been speaking out.
I am no longer supporting this administration. I am so disgusted with this administration. I think that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to resign. And I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this.
We went from, very happy, very excited, where we've reached somewhere to now being very disappointed. It's come to the point where we can't even trust our government.
We can't trust our government. That is a fact. We seriously can't. Not this administration. And there's been times we couldn't trust the Democrats administration. I'm just being honest, and I'm a Democrat. But what I will stand on, definitely we can't trust the Donald Trump regime administration at all. They're covering for pedos, and they don't care what you think and how you feel. They don't care about children, apparently, in my opinion. One moment, we will continue. But first, I'd like to shout some of you out and let you know I am glad you're here and I appreciate you coming to my live. So Craig says, who is this guy anyway? I don't know who you're talking about. King IW4KX says, that's right, Queen. I love you, King. How you doing? I hope you're doing very well. Thank you, Queen Vera, for blessing me. I love you, Queen. You got such a long number name. I won't be able to read that. Hey, Wasa. Okay. The name, she's talking to you, Alan. Alan, just disregard. If anybody been disrespectful, you don't pay them no mind. Just remove their comments. Don't even argue with them. They're not worth your energy. They're low vibrational, baby. Jar 5014 said propaganda channel. If it is, then why are you here, baby? Because you're coming over here every day, and it just tells me that you want to come over here and look at a black woman, and then you get with your white wife with a pancake booty, and you fantasize about me. God bless you. Merry Christmas. And Alan, is not that what you said. Noble says Trump's secret. Okay. Just a moment. Brian Thomas says, yes, your mother is. Let me tell you something. I'm going to save you tonight and not break you down till you cry and run back down into Donald Trump pissy pants. My mother is dead. My mother, I didn't even know my mother. My mother died when I was 5 years old. I went to her funeral. I didn't cry because I didn't know her. But as I have gotten older, because I am Lillie II, I'm named after my mother. The more I connect with her through Jesus Christ. So, because I know my Lord and Savior, I'm not going to wring your neck tonight. And what I will do is put your head back down at Donald Trump Speaks to the Pens so you can bubble him because that's who you are. Merry Christmas. One moment, everybody. America First, 1776 says MAGA sweep is coming. It's okay for you to be cheerful and excited and be hopeful, but the blue wave has shown you in these special elections, yes, the special elections, that the sweep is never coming for MAGA. The blue wave is drowning you, and we would not resuscitate you, okay? Merry Christmas. James Permeter, you need Jesus, not Donald Trump. You need Jesus. Thomas Bickman says, so Tor source is the other people on YouTube sound credible? I don't know what, honey. So many people that come on here, y'all don't even make sense. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the show, the commentary that you need, because I'm here to give you what you want and I give you what you need. Satisfaction guarantee it comes from me, okay? One moment. Just a moment. So this is one of Epstein's survivors. So we're going to take a listen. And Epstein survivor reveals underage trips to Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Let me say it again. Epstein survivor reveals underage trips to where? Mar-a-Lago. Who owns Mar-a-Lago? Donald J. Trump, also known as Donna Janine Trump, because he wears that pink tutu and dances around in that ballroom throwing fairy dust all over the place. Glitter just gets everywhere. I don't like glitter, y'all. No.
Did you travel to Mar-a-Lago?
Yes, I did.
And how did you arrive at Mar-a-Lago? How did you end up going to Mar-a-Lago? Did he send you there? Were you told to go there? How did that happen?
There were a lot of model parties at the Mar-a-Lago. Different people would set them up, different magazines, and a limo would come and you'd jump in the limo and you'd go.
And Jeffrey Epstein or someone who worked for him would tell you to go there?
No, it was just a place where something was held, a party was held, and people would go to different events.
This is about so much more than one person, Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell or Donald Trump. But because Donald Trump is a person who, of course, owns Mar-a-Lago, I just have to ask if you think he was aware of that arrangement.
I don't know if he was aware. Actually, I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
You were in your teens. And I think this is important for people to understand that people were in their teens and were young, and you were a young model, and you were handled by a predator.
She was handled by who? A predator.
Did you travel?
And that comes from Briefing with P. Saki. That was at Mar-a-Lago. Those parties were the teens. They would bring young girls to their parties. Grown men bringing young girls to their parties. Yeah, that's liable to happen. I live here in Atlanta. And when I first moved here, I was trying to get into the music industry. I have already had done some modeling. I already did commercials, print, stuff like that. So when I came here, I would get invited to certain parties. And if you wouldn't agree with what they would want you to do, you was called difficult. So you wasn't going to book anything. I was somebody that was called difficult because me being a Sagittarius, I speak up. I speak loud and proud. I don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. So I believe her. And because I looked at younger many years when I moved here, over 20-something years when I moved here, they might have thought I was some young teeny bop because I looked at younger. I'm 52 now and I look younger than 52. So I believe everything she said about the men having those young teen models to come to Mar-a-Lago. Who owns Mar-a-Lago, everybody? Donald J. Trump, Donna Janine Trump. The one with the pink tutu dancing around in the ballroom. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to continue. Just a moment, everybody. Dumpster fire administration, period. That is Donald Trump's administration. Take a listen to this. And this comes from Neil 3D. Uh-oh. I just keep hitting mute. Lord Jesus, bear with me, y'all. I love you. Merry Christmas.
There's so much information regarding to the Epstein files and that related to Trump come out this afternoon. And we're going to talk about this in this video. The whole redaction job from the U.S. government is just like a freshman job. It's like using Photoshop. And so DOJ basically released a bunch of PDF files with a black box over the text. So basically, it was not actually redacted. People could actually literally copy paste the text underneath the black bar and read it. This is completely incompetent. And some of the victims' name probably leaked from those files. Someone from IT department needs to get fired, or whoever in charge needs to send to a re-education camp. And the DOJ and FBI said that the letter from Epstein sent to Larry Nassar was about the young newbie girls that was reference to Trump. They say it was fake. It doesn't match Epstein's handwriting, but if it's fake, why it is there? Why? What else is fake? Why are you putting all the garbage inside of those files? Now let's talk about the flight log that for Epstein's claim. Reuters reports that the email from prosecutors saying that Trump flew on Epstein's jet 8 times in 1990s. That's directly contradicting Trump's 2024 claim that he never did. So he was lying. Then let's go to Kash Patel. Reuters reported that he told the senator that there was no credible information that Epstein trafficking girls to anyone but himself. He said no credible information, not same as nothing happened. He's basically using lawyers' language to shut down the conversation. So basically, the head of FBI is pretty much lying in front of Congress to the people and he needs to be impeached. And there's another claim mentioned that, according to a limousine driver, he overheard that conversation that Donald Trump raped a girl, and later on that girl died. The police believe that it was a suicide, but the medical examiner said not. I will leave you to that judgment. I don't know if any MAGA people watching my video in here or not, but literally you have a dumpster fire in your administration right now. God. Anyway.
Go with God, MAGA. You have a dumpster fire in your MAGA administration. Go with God. So I have a video about Kash Patel. Let me find that, okay? Because he lies to Congress about the entire Epstein situation, said there was no men that Epstein sold those women to. Okay, hold on. One moment, please. Just a moment. I need to find that video. It's imperative that I find that video. Hold on, beautiful kings and queens. Just a moment. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on. Give me a moment, baby. I got you. I give you what you want. I give you what you need. And you know it. Where is that Kash Patel video? Because Cashy, he lied to us. Told us that Epstein didn't have any co-conspirators in the situation. Yeah. Hold on, baby. Hold on just a little while longer. Kash Patel, the compulsive liar. He got his line from Donald Trump. Just a compulsive liar like Donnie. Hold on, babies. Where is that video? I got a video to show y'all LaToya Jackson. Donald Trump lied like she tried to come on to him. If he stopped lying, it'd be a better life for us. What is it, Jesus? Bear with me, everybody. This is so weird. Okay. What is Kash Patel trying to hide? Hold on.
Access to an overwhelming amount of documents that show just how vast Epstein's client list really was and all the different people he trafficked underage girls to. So then why did FBI Director Kash Patel testify to Congress on multiple occasions that Epstein had zero client list and there was no evidence that he worked with other people?
Well, he lied because that's who he is. So let's take a listen to Cash Patel.
General Pam Bondi isn't the only one who should be held in contempt of Congress for the biggest cover-up in American history that we're seeing from the Department of Justice. But let's not forget FBI Director Kash Patel, who testified under oath to Congress earlier this year that Jeffrey Epstein had no client list and that there was, quote, no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked underage girls to anybody but himself. And we all knew it, and we completely know now that is absolutely untrue.
Okay. Just a moment, everybody. One moment. So we're going to take a listen while I'm up here looking at this to Epstein brother. Epstein brother says that Trump authorized his brother Epstein to be unalive. One moment, please. And this comes from Roman Report 1, okay?
This, a new document has been released from the Trump Epstein files in which Jeffrey Epstein's brother Mark told the FBI that he has reason to believe that his brother was murdered because he was about to name names and that his murder was ordered by Donald Trump. Here's what he told the FBI. Quote, Jeffrey Epstein was murdered in his jail cell. I have reason to believe he was killed because he was about to name names. I believe President Trump authorized his murder. This was submitted to the FBI. This was released as part of the required production from the Department of Justice. My question is, why hasn't the media interviewed Mark Epstein? Why hasn't he at least been given an opportunity to tell the American people why he believes Donald Trump ordered the murder of his brother? I mean, he told the FBI, I have reason to believe he was killed because he was about to name names. I believe President Trump authorized his murder. Why haven't we been allowed to hear this man explain why he believes what he believes? Why hasn't the media put this man on national television? Why hasn't the Congress of the United States put this man under oath and let him tell the American people what he knows and why he believes what he believes? Well, at least when it comes to Congress, we know the answer to that. And I guess we also know the answer to that when it comes to the
Well,
media.
now we know Epstein's brother said that he believed that Donald Trump authorized Epstein's unaliving. We also learned tonight that the 14-year-old girl that was alleged pregnant by Donald Trump and her uncle took her baby from her and threw it in the Michigan Lake. And all of a sudden, she was pow in her head, and they claimed that she committed suicide. But the coroner did not say that. All these unalivings, and Donald Trump is all around them all. They all connected to him. Everybody that's been unalive, they all communicated with Donald Trump. What a coincidence, America. One moment, please. So Trump is in the new Epstein file release. And everybody right now, we all pretty much feel impeach Trump 2025. Donald Trump is over.
Y'all, Donald Trump immediately demeanor went stone cold as Blank stated, he raped me. Right there. Donald Trump.
These are the Epstein files.
Blank said what? As Donald J. Trump had raped her along with Jeffrey Epstein together. Blank noted, some girl with a funny name took me into a fancy hotel, Ghislaine.
That's what she's talking about.
Maxwell. Or building. That's how it happened. Blank advised to call the police regarding the incident as Blank stated, I can't. They will unalive me. On Christmas Day, Blank contacted Blank, stated she had in fact called the police about what they had talked about, and she had done good. And I don't know what happened until 2000. They did not hear from her until 2000. But y'all, this is scary. This other document says blank asked blank about his time driving a limousine for 2 years in Dallas Fort Worth area. During this time as a driver, he had met Donald Trump. Noted he picked the president up in 1995 and took him to the DFW airport. Blank reported some of things President Trump had spoken about during the ride on his cell phone. It says right here, he raped me. He took me into a fancy hotel or building. That's how it happened. And this man happens to be the president.
Everybody can't be lying, MAGA. No, I do not believe those young girls were lying on Jeffrey E. Epstein nor Donald J. Trump. The truth is in the pudding. You just deciding to hold on to Donald Trump, thin paper lips lying to you. You hoping he blow you a kiss. That's how sick you are. You mediocre white men that's part of MAGA. Pam Bundy, you're going down, girl. You're going to take the fall for Donald Trump. Forget your career. You're going down.
I've got some big news this evening. Congressman Ro Khanna has confirmed to me this evening that they will be filing inherent contempt proceedings against Attorney General Pam Bondi upon return from the congressional break that is happening right now for the holidays. They will give Pam Bondi a grace period of 30 days to essentially produce all of the remaining documents, but that inherent contempt proceedings will be filed. They won't just draft them, they're going to be filing them. At the same time, Ro Khanna says that members of Congress will be asking the Southern District of New York to appoint a special magistrate to review whether or not redactions were properly made in various Epstein files. That is a significant development because it is the courts that would be holding this Justice Department accountable, not Congress, if the courts were to appoint a special magistrate. There are major things happening right now on Capitol Hill. Full interview with Congressman Ro Khanna will be up on my YouTube, which is just linked in my bio. So go check it out. It'll be up in a few minutes.
Please subscribe to Aaron Parnas. It's AARONPARNAS. The great Aaron Parnas. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel and go to Instagram and look him up. AARONPARNAS. Significant, amazing content creator. And he's also an attorney, yes. And y'all recall Donald Trump is the reason his father is locked up. Anybody that attached their wagon to Donald Trump, you will be taken down. He is a curse. He's a stain on America. This right here is supposed to stay hidden, and this comes from True Crime with True Crime with Bella. So hold on a moment. We're gonna listen to Bella, okay?
We literally just figured out how to unredact some of the Epstein files, you guys, that Trump's administration redacted. So the Trump administration is so freaking incompetent that they use the improper formatting to redact these files for redactions, meaning that on some of the files, all you got to do is copy the text, including the redactions, and then paste it in a notepad. And when pasted, the actual redacted text shows. Watch this. Like all of this right here is redacted, right? All the covered in black right here, you can read it. Yep, all of that's redacted. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how you can go ahead and take it, copy and paste it. I have a Mac, and then go ahead and see what it says. All of this stuff right here, yep, that was previously redacted, and now you can see and read it. Pause to read. But yeah, corruption is corrupting.
Corruption is corrupting. Donald Trump is corrupted. Yes. He is worse than Nixon. Pam Bundy, Nixon's attorney general, went to prison. Donald Trump will let you go to prison, girl. He doesn't care. He only cares about himself. I don't even think he cares about himself. Look at him. He looked like a walking billboard of death. Yes. Dear MAGA, the words RAPED me and MRDERED, my newborn child, are in the files beside next to Trump's name. What you gonna do, MAGA? So, content warning, and this from Esther Maria from X.com. He participated regularly in paying money to force me to blank. This from the Epstein files, to force me to blank with him. And he was present when my uncle unalived my newborn child and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. That is from the Epstein files. What do you think about that, MAGA? Your savior. That's not God like, definitely not Christian. So, interesting. I love how Bill Clinton is doing this. But MAGA still stick by Donald Trump. But take a listen. Bill Clinton saw everyone calling him out for sexual abuse of minors and said, release the files, clear my name. Well, Donnie says something totally different. How does Donald Trump feel about it? Trump saw everyone calling him out and said the files are a Democratic hoax and fought the release. Well, Bill Clinton called your bluff. Release the Epstein files, all of it. Bill Clinton said everything with my name, release it. Because we know Bill do like women. We never heard that Bill want to fund the children. Now, he might have stepped out on Hillary Clinton, but where y'all failed to remember, back in the day, Hillary Clinton was a baddie. She had that long, blonde, beautiful hair. She wore those little pleated, nice skirts. She had fashion. I don't know what happened over the years, but you have to dress conservative when you are in the government. Hillary was a baddie. Y'all don't know Hillary. She was somewhat kind of gangster too. I hate to say it about the girl, but she was a baddie. So Bill stepping out, he really, in my opinion, they have a reason to step out, but there's some things that men like to do. Bill steps out with women. Monica Lewinsky was a woman. She was not under 18 years old. Trump like him young. He said Epstein like him young like he does. He said it from his paper thin, bussy lips. Donald Trump, yeah, the one that uses lips on Bubba. One moment, please. Epstein was busy doing a lot. Take a listen.
Epstein negotiated the fucking contract to move the CIA's proprietary airliner, Southern Air Transport, which was busted running drugs and guns during Iran-Contra. He personally was the authorized signatory on the deal with Southern Air Transport to move it to a military base in Columbus, Ohio to service the limited. Hey, any of you guys got any bright ideas about how you would go about in 1994 convincing the Central Intelligence Agency to move its proprietary CIA airline used for covert operations based in Miami to fucking up and move its entire operation to fucking Columbus, Ohio, just to service your personal company instead of the CIA? What do you think, he cold called the CIA? You think he just schmoozed the CIA? Or is it because he was handling Adnan Khashoggi's money during Iran-Contra that purchased the guns that Southern Air Transport a decade earlier was moving?
Epstein was busy doing a lot. And that's quite often that the mediocre white man, not men, all white men, so don't get in here with your panties in a bunch. They love to put it on black people and brown people and say they move all the drugs, drugs, the guns. No, baby. It's always started with the mediocre white man, baby. Don't get it twisted. And don't think I'm hating because I'm stating what it is. Don't get mad. Those young YNs in the black neighborhoods in the hood, they don't know how to get that. The white man put it in the neighborhood, just as Reagan put drugs in the black neighborhoods. A white Republican Reagan. Don't be surprised Epstein doing this or has done it. Come on now. Well, Pam Bundy, that time is coming soon. You will answer. Take a listen to the blackout.
Check out this.
Hold on. The blackout system, okay?
So check out this video of Pam Bundy being questioned.
Who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this, and you won't do it today, but eventually you will.
So this video took place approximately 10 weeks ago. And if that's the case, then eventually it's now. Pam Bundy needs to answer these questions now, and she needs to be held accountable. She needs to be held contempt, and she needs to be debarred for breaking the freaking law. Anybody else who's in this situation will find themselves behind bars, losing their license or something strenuous that alters their life and the direction and the trajectory of where they're going. And so I think it's very fair, and I think justice calls for her to be held accountable. I know that there are many out there, but I haven't heard their voices. But it'd be great to hear lawyer after lawyer after lawyer call for her to be held accountable.
Pam's trajectory, she's going to prison. Again, Nixon's attorney general did what? Went to prison. Pam, you should go and love yourself, girl. Did your parents not teach you to love yourself? My dad taught me to love myself. And my dad's birthday is tomorrow. Yes, God. So we're going to take a listen about Donnie being an informant again, okay? And this comes from Adam. Hold on. It comes from Adam, San Francisco. Just a moment.
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself.
Oh, he
When
said
first
it's a
turned
hoax.
the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as
The lies Mike Johnson grinder tell. I told y'all when he got off that floor and got in his car, he was on his app on Grindr. You got to relieve that pressure. Because, you know, you need to let it go. You got to let it go. Whew, I understand, Mike. I like looking at black men, too. Especially those really dark chocolate ones, because they're going to have the best eggplant. I get it, boy. So let's take a listen to a survivor. And just because she was essayed by Trump doesn't mean he hasn't done it to other young girls. This survivor wants trash Trump and his administration impeached. And I agree.
Trump, right? Just to be clear, in terms of pointing the finger,
Yes.
or having, yes, exactly. And
Yes.
you said that before, that you have never heard anything to implicate him.
Exactly. It wasn't until I started meeting some of the other women from different countries and different states where I really started to hear their stories. And of course, as a survivor sister and going through what I went through, I do believe these girls. But at the end of the day, I am no longer supporting this administration. I redact any support I've ever given to him, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. I am so disgusted with this administration. I think that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to resign. And I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this. And I'm just waiting.
Should Pam Bondi be held in contempt, you think, for the release?
She needs to be held more than in contempt. Absolutely.
Pam Bondi, you should be held in contempt. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Alan, because that person don't even know how to spell nigga. I'm proud to be a black woman. I'm a black woman that you white people keep coming in my chat saying I'm wearing weave and wigs when it's all my hair. You need to go check my community wall because you would really be mad at me if you saw how long my hair was 2 years ago before I cut it. Because menopause takes a toll on your hair, your skin, your body, your everything. But it's still long, but it's not as long as it was before. So, City X11I, keep putting in my chat. And the others, they have more than one page. They even take a black person's face and put it as their profile picture when they know they are white people. I'm on to you, baby. I know you like coming over here looking at all this black beauty. You fantasize about it. You even call escort services to try to get you a black woman as beautiful as me. But she wouldn't have you, so you come on my live, you mad at me about it. Don't be mad with me. Be mad with Jesus. He made me. And he made me great. Whew. Yes, God. I shall continue. One moment, please. I love you guys. So we're going to take a listen to another Epstein survivor. Jane Doe was 15. Yes. But she still wasn't the one the system protected. The system, meaning the Donald Trump regime and the Donald Trump administration, the MAGA administration, protect who? Pedos, PDF files. Hold on.
Jeffrey Epstein started his targeted grooming and manipulation of me as a child when I was in New York City for a school trip. I first came into contact with an assistant of Epstein's while on a high school drama club field trip to New York City. I was invited to his home. There, his assistant took a photo of me and then later reached out to me inviting me to Epstein's ranch. I only knew Jeffrey Epstein for 5 days. During a trip to Zorro Ranch, his massive compound surrounded by government land in the New Mexico desert. Epstein took my sexual innocence in front of a wall of framed photographs of him shaking hands and smiling with celebrities and political leaders. I was only 15 years old. After, he wanted to talk with me about what had just been my first sexual experience and directed me to take time to myself that night to cry. He said that would be beneficial to my growth. After this, we had a long talk about my future goals. I told him that I wanted to go to college to study biochemistry. He said that he wanted to give me money for college. He asked me how much money I thought he should give me. At 15 years old, living in northern Michigan with my mother, stepfather, and grandfather, I had no idea how to respond to a billionaire who had just raped me. I was being asked to quantify in monetary terms what had been taken from me.
Epstein was a grand wizard pimp. You're gonna ask a 15-year-old girl what does she think monetary wise it would take for her to go to college. At 15, she don't know. She knows she wants to go to college, but she doesn't know how much it takes. He played on this young girl's top, and he shall and Donnie will pay a price. One moment, please. We're gonna take a listen to this, and we're gonna be eventually getting out of here. Okay? I love you guys. Hold on.
Breaking news, President Clinton accuses President Trump of a cover-up. Let the presidential chess match begin, and the border's tightening. After Trump brushed off the Epstein photo releases and said Bill Clinton was a big boy and could handle it, Clinton's camp came back with a direct challenge, calling for the full, unredacted release of all Epstein records, including photos, transcripts, and notes. No hedging, no qualifiers, basically saying we have got nothing to hide. That move puts Trump in a corner. Clinton's spokesperson now publicly asking Trump to instruct the DOJ and Attorney General Pam Bondi to release everything, including anything that mentions Clinton. Now, here's the rub. If Trump is truly not exposed here, then it's a fair play. Accept the challenge and unredact both presidents equally. Anything less starts to look like selective transparency. Clinton's team is framing partial releases as insinuation, not justice, and warning that refusal will confirm suspicions that someone is being protected. And it's not Clinton. So now it's simple. Unredact both, or Trump risks looking like he's guarding something. In political terms, that's check. And if he doesn't move, it starts to feel like checkmate. Story developing.
And that comes from the Mesa. President Clinton is calling your bluff, Donnie. He called your bluff. What are you going to do?